Well, travel at London's Heathrow Airport brought to a standstill. A fire at a nearby substation triggered a power outage, shutting down Europe's busiest hub for aviation. Airline schedules thrown into disarray as hundreds of flights were cancelled or forced to reroute. A smoke billowing over the power station north of Heathrow just before midnight. The fire has since been brought under control. It has also knocked out a system meant as a power backup for the airport. Thousands of homes also losing power and some 150 people having to be evacuated. The cause has yet to be determined. But Britain's energy minister says there is no suggestion of foul play. Aerial footage shows dozens of grounded planes. More than 1,300 flights to and from Heathrow are affected, impacting thousands of passengers. Travellers have been urged to avoid heading to the airport. For more, Olly Barratt joins us live from Heathrow Airport in London. Olly, London's mayor warning that disruption to airport services could continue for days yet. Is there a timeline for disruption to schedules at Heathrow?
Not really yet, because we don't know exactly when Heathrow Airport is going to reopen. We do know that it will be closed until at least midnight tonight local time here in the UK on Friday. Now, if it were to reopen early on Saturday morning to flights, now that would still mean a period probably of several days when the knock-on effects of disruption would continue to be felt here, but also in other airports around the world. So a huge level of uncertainty remains about exactly the days ahead for London's Heathrow Airport, the busiest airport in the UK and one of the busiest airports in the world. So tens of thousands of passengers stranded in different parts of the UK, but also different parts of the globe as they try and get here or try and rearrange their travel in some other different kind of way. One of the difficulties there has been for the UK is that airport capacity here in Britain is so stretched, is so up towards its limit that when Heathrow had to shut down, there were very few options actually for planes to be diverted elsewhere. Gatwick Airport, for example, did take some flights, but was operating at capacity already itself. So a very challenging environment in the hours and days ahead for Heathrow Airport, where I am, but also other British airports, and those knock-on effects being felt across the globe today, but also in the days ahead.
Challenging as we look ahead, but also challenging as the energy minister ruling out foul play, saying he's not leaping to any conclusions. So investigating the cause of this incident. Any suggestion at this point that perhaps plans the airport and power systems could have been better prepared for situations such as these?
That's certainly the key question that the government is going to face now. And the Energy Minister, Ed Miliband, hasn't quite ruled out foul play, but said there were no indications at this point that foul play was involved. We've also just in the last few minutes had an update from London's Metropolitan Police. A statement says that the police are working with the fire brigade to establish the cause of the fire, which remains under investigation. The police saying there is currently no indication of foul play, but we retain an open mind at this time. The Metropolitan Police says that given the impact this has had on critical infrastructure, the Metropolitan Police's Counter-Terrorism Command is now leading these inquiries because of its specialist resources and capabilities. And so that reflecting the words that we had from Energy Minister Ed Miliband earlier about not being able to necessarily yet rule out foul play, but there's no indication at this point that it might have been involved. But it also opens up those questions about the UK's critical infrastructure, about how there weren't enough backups when this fire started and when this fire spread to make sure that power at Heathrow could be kept online. The latest line from the fire brigade in terms of the power is that the fire's been brought under control and that there is some power now restored to Heathrow Airport, but that terminals 2 and 4 out of the 5, according to the fire brigade, remain without power. And even when power comes back on, it will take a little bit of time from that point to really fully reboot and restore all of the airport and the terminal capabilities.
Well, thanks to Olly Barratt reporting live from Heathrow Airport, of course, facing total and sudden closure. Share prices for major European airlines under pressure, with Heathrow there under closure. British Airways parent IAG currently down nearly 1%, 0.83%, after dropping as much as 3.5% earlier. Lufthansa and Air France KLM also down more than 1%, 1.2 for Lufthansa and more than 1.5 for Air France KLM. 8 Singapore Airlines flights to and from London also affected by this closure. SQ306 was diverted to Charles de Gaulle Airport in Paris, and SQ322 to Frankfurt. SQ308 returned to Singapore at around 4:30 p.m. Singapore time and has since been suspended. The remaining 5 have been cancelled, while a spokesperson from Qantas says Singapore-London services were diverted to Paris. Hundreds of thousands affected by this global flight turmoil. One passenger we spoke to told us how she has been adjusting her travel plans back to London from Amsterdam.
So I was supposed to fly out today at 4 p.m. I'm here for work. And I was going to go back home to London. I was alerted at 6 a.m. by British Airways on email. So when I woke up at 7:30, I saw that email and then went crazy calling a bunch of travel agents. I wasn't offered any automatic rebooking or any other alternatives to get to London. I'm on the wait list for many flights out of Amsterdam and Rotterdam, so I need to hold tight and see which one gets through, if I get through today, and then commute to whichever airport accordingly. But right now, I don't know. I might have to end up staying in Amsterdam for an extra night, which is very inconvenient.